Hi, everybody. Happy Friday. Dr. Gail here to talk a little more about Mental Health Month. As you know, I've been talking a little bit. I finally have a voice back, so I haven't been on for a couple days because I've had some trouble with having a voice, which for me, a high I in the disc, is really hard to not be able to talk with people. But I wanted to come on today and I wanted to talk about. Um, some simple things that you can do for family or friends that may be struggling. I want to talk to you a little bit too about the exciting news that for me that's happening on Sunday. I kind of teased about it at the beginning of the week, but on Sunday I'm going to be launching my um, Community of Hope group. It'll be a group that will be have a master have a membership group, but also have some content and different things in my hub that for those people who join. This is for anyone who is interested in mental health, anyone who's struggling with mental health, anyone who has family members. I need to build an army to try to help. I've been trying to do it a little bit at a time on my own with my coaching. I'm a certified brain health coach with the Amen Clinic. You can see the brain scans up there on my wall. I'm gonna get that wall done one of these days. But I have a passion for this. I've had it my whole life. I've been 40 plus years in healthcare, working in transplant and sexual assault, domestic violence. All of those things all had components of mental health involved in it. So I've been involved in it for a very, very long time. And so I'm very passionate about it, but I know that I can't do it by myself. I need a group of individuals and people who want to be a part of this community to help us learn and spread um, the word about mental health, about and try to erase the stigma that's out there for mental health, and really support people to be able to support others in a time when we're in a real mental health crisis in the United States. We're a mess, and I talked about the stats earlier, so I won't do that again. You can watch that one if you want to know some of the stats. But I really feel this is real important. So what I want to talk to you about today is I want to talk about 6 steps um, for mental health support. Now, the first step is you need to be gentle. People who are coping with a mental health condition, from substance abuse use or disorders to anxiety disorders, can be prone to negative self talk and denial and shame. You want to start the conversation gently and continue to listen with an open mind as they speak. Ask them open ended questions rather than assuming that you know what they're feeling. However, if you have also struggled with mental health, you might want to share this with them to establish that two-way exchange of vulnerability. Might help them listen and know that they're not alone. Validate them and intermittently reflect back on what you've heard to make sure you understand their concerns. Ask if they would be open to receiving advice or feedback before sharing your thoughts. Think about it. You wouldn't want to be somebody to be asking you all kinds of questions without asking first, right? So try to put yourself in their position. And finally, remain patient throughout the process. Ask them, what is the best way I can support you at this time? Because the next time might be different from this time. And be ready to accept their answer. Not argue with them, not bargain with them, accept their answer. The second thing is take their concerns seriously. Too many times we brush it off. Oh, everybody's had that at some time, those kind of things. Those who struggle with mental health disorders need an open ear and kindness. Not cliches, not platitudes, not minimizing their statements, such as, I know exactly how you feel. Look on the bright side. But you have so much to be grateful for. You'll snap out of this eventually. Everyone goes through this sometimes. These kinds of sayings can make your loved one or friend or acquaintance feel unheard, misunderstood, and alienated. Instead, practice empathy. Listen with sensitivity and allow them to share what feels appropriate for them. You can simply express your concerns and your care without passing harsh judgment while assuring that you are hearing and supporting them. This is just so important. Number 3, encourage them to seek help. Today, no one with a mental health disorder has to suffer alone. There are multiple ways to treat these problems, including many natural solutions. And that's kind of where you should start. But you don't know, you have to find out where they are first. Remember, you don't want to tell them what to do or act pushy, but rather offer beneficial information that can positively impact their lives. If your loved one or friend is experiencing a crisis or is in danger of harming themselves or others, do not hesitate to call 911. In non-urgent cases, you can also reach out to 988, the suicide crisis hotline. The fourth thing is position mental health as brain health. It's really about our brain. You know that the brain is the only organ that we do not look at before we diagnose. Think about that. If you went into the ER where you'd hurt your arm, they wouldn't just assume it's broken or not broken. They would get an x-ray and they'd do some workup to figure out before they decide what their plan of care is going to be. If you come in with chest pain or shortness of breath, they're going to do a ton of things before they're going to diagnose what's really wrong with you. But when people come in with a mental health issue, nothing in the past has been done. They have not looked at the brain and its functioning to see where the problem really is. I can just give you a quick example. When we look at ADHD, or ADD, in the beginning when that first started getting diagnosed, there was only 1 or 2 types of it. There's now more than that, 6 or more. Now they're always finding more. But the medicines that we used for those first 2 make the others worse. So if you've got a child or an adult or someone who's got the problem, we need to find out what kind of, where in their brain is this happening so that we can treat it appropriately and make them better, not just throw medicines with them. And I have experienced that. I volunteered at a VA, and they spend about 15 minutes with the doctor. And then they have a side effect, so they give them another drug for that side effect, and it just gets compounded, and they get worse instead of better. I also know that some places treat by making the person in group relive their experience. We don't want to do that. We want to put that in the past where it can't hurt them anymore and let them see that they can go forward knowing that that happened, but not having to deal with it and reinforce it every day. This is why our suicide rate is just so high. So it's easy for those with mental health issues to feel like there's something wrong with them. But these issues aren't moral failings, they're not character flaws, they're not weakness, or indications that someone is defective. They are a brain health issue. This is why, as I said, I'm certified with the Amen Clinics. Dr. Amen has developed SPECT imaging. And they do brain SPECT scans on people before they diagnose. And it's very useful to help determine the underlying cause of the issues. SPECT scans can find details that may have been previously overlooked, helping the clinicians understand more about how the patient's brain uniquely functions. Combined with other steps like taking clinical history and personal interviews, family information, diagnostic checklists, neuropsychological tests, SPECTs can help pinpoint the treatment that's needed. So encourage your loved one or friend or whatever to seek out a practitioner who does functional brain SPECT imaging if standard treatment is not working for them. Number 5, Plan mood-boosting conversations and activities. Talk about topics that are unrelated to their mental health, like books and movies and music, inspiring new stories. Make time for fun outings because laughter truly is the best medicine. And because it triggers feel-good neurotransmitters. Exercise in particular is great for improving anyone's mental health. So make plans to involve a walk or a bike ride or a hike in nature or yoga or exercise class, dancing, sports, any type of physical activity. Because what that does, it releases endorphins, which generates positive feelings in the body, thus opening the door to more positive feelings and thoughts. And number 6, discourage isolation. Many mental health people struggle, and their struggles are associated with a desire to isolate, which can aggravate the problem. Think about people you may have known of in the past. Encourage them to stay in regular contact with friends and family, and reach out rather than isolate when they are having a difficult time. And they've got to be supported by those people that they're reaching out to. So you could be that person for them. In fact, this point brings us back to square one, because a tendency to isolate is exactly why it's important for you to broach the topic of mental health with your loved one or friend to begin with. They may be unlikely to share their problems without being directly asked. You need to do it in a gentle, concerned way, and it needs to be done by someone they care about. So, overcoming this mental health stigma, it's heartbreaking to see a loved one struggle with mental health issues. We can feel powerless or frustrated, saddened, even angry. The good news is we have more treatment options than ever to improve systems and symptoms. And we can all make a difference by showing empathy and understanding. By practicing a kind, caring, and open-minded approach, you will be doing your part to help ease the damaging stigma around our world's growing mental health concerns. So I hope these tips have been helpful for you today. I would love for you to become one of our founding members for the Community of Hope. If you want to become a founding member, I'm going to drop the link and the QR code in the post for this video. I would love for you to join us. In my founding member group, these are the people, you could be one of them, that's going to help me form this community. Know what the community is listening to. Know what the community is feeling. Know what the community is needing. Your perspectives are important for making the foundation of this group successful, because I'd like to take that founding member group, have them help me develop this and make sure we're developing it the way it needs to be for the right people, targeting those people, and growing it to thousands of members, because that's the only way that we're going to change the state of mental illness in the U.S. Go out there, take a walk, take time to take a breath, even if it's just for a minute. Take a nice deep breath and try to take care of yourself first, because you've got to take care of yourself before you can help others. That's the first thing they tell you, right? When you're in the plane, and that mask drops down, they tell you to put it over your mouth and nose first before you help other people. So if you're struggling, take care of yourself. You can always reach out to me by Messenger on Facebook, or you can contact me at Gail at togetherprovidinghope.com. But I hope that you will become one of our founding members. It's open now, even though it's not launching till Sunday. So if you want to get a jump on things, I hope to see you there in the Community of Hope. Have a great weekend.